you keep telling folks they're going to get left behind. That moment is happening right now. This year, we have seen a significant change, shift, evolution, I guess I could say, in these AI tools capabilities, where they've gone full-blown like agentic. That means AI agents. That means they're no longer just trapped in a chatbot where you copy and paste their answers. They actually can connect to your apps and your tools and do the thing for you.
AI is moving fast, and a lot of agents are either getting left behind or getting distracted by the wrong things. Some agents I know are even ignoring it, some are overcomplicating it, and a lot of people are using it to do more without ever asking whether it's actually helping them live better. So today, I want to have a different kind of conversation about AI. Not just how to use it to grow your business, but how to use it with wisdom, with integrity, and in a way that actually supports your life instead of just adding more noise. And there's no one better to have that conversation with than Jason Pantana. Jason leads the AI Marketing Academy. He's real estate's most actionable and tactical AI marketing training platform that he's built. He helps professionals confidently turn AI into real-world results across their digital channels. He also works with Tom Ferry International. But beyond the business side, he loves Jesus. He's a husband, a dad to 2 boys. And it's why I think today's conversation is so important, because it's not just about AI and getting more done. It's about how do we think about it as believers in using these tools wisely. Jason, man, I am glad that you're here, buddy. Thank you so much for joining me. Before I let you say hi, I'm going to tell you this joke, and I don't know if it's funny, Jason. And I didn't use AI to create this joke. I will just say this, ChatGPT is terrible at coming up with Christian jokes. It's the same thing over and over. Maybe you can help me with that, and that'll be the focus of our conversation. Jason, what was Adam and Eve's least favorite fast food restaurant? Raising Cane's. Huh? That's pretty funny.
Oh man,
that's a zinger.
Yeah. You are like most guests at this point. They're like, "Why did I agree to this?" And like, I don't know, but you're
good
here
for
now.
the brand.
So, yeah, it's good. That's right, buddy. Man, thank you for coming on, brother. Really, man, introduce yourself quickly, and we're just gonna jump in. I'm honored that you're with me.
Yeah. So I'm really stoked to be here. You already kind of said everything in the opening. I am Jason Pantana. I do lead AI Marketing Academy. We do specialize in helping train real estate professionals on how to apply AI. Really, I would argue our focus is not on how do we help you study AI so you can just fill your head with useless knowledge. That is not what we do. We show you how to put AI to work and you learn along the way. So we actually are giving our members systems for how can they solve a content creation challenge, a video editing challenge, an SEO challenge with AI to scale their marketing. Because I think you know this, having talked to many guests and working in the real estate space, that the expression wearing lots of hats was basically created to describe real estate agents. There is just a lot of stuff happening, a lot of moving parts. The buck stops with you on all those different fronts. And so I want to try to help folks solve some of their marketing challenges by streamlining, saving time, scaling their operations, by putting AI to work strategically. However, as you alluded to it, there's a lot of misinformation about AI. There's a lot of confusion about AI. There's a lot of, I would argue, poor practice in terms of when and how to use AI that's leading people to have mixed results. And my goal is to help give everybody the best possible results and make it a force multiplier of what they're doing.
Love it, man. And we're going to dive in to the tactical piece, and then we're going to move into like this theological discussion, right? And see if we can solve the entire world of Christianity's AI problem right now.
I make no guarantees.
No guarantees, right? I don't even know if we solved it right, even if we came up with an answer, right? Yeah. But we're going to dive into that. But man, so jump in. What are people getting wrong about AI right now, especially in the real estate space? What are you seeing?
Yeah, so I think that a lot of folks need to understand kind of how these large language models work. And I would make an argument, if you wanted to be successful on social media, call it 10 years ago, if you didn't understand how the algorithm worked, you were at a disadvantage. If you wanted to be an expert in ranking on Google and you didn't understand how the algorithm worked, you weren't going to rank. And so this is a moment like that where you need to understand how these LLMs, these large language models in particular, are working. One of the simple frameworks we give to our members, and I mean simple, When you think about what AI is, we're really talking about generative AI, which is AI that produces an output. This is a simple framework. We've known about it forever and always. It's the input output framework. A vending machine is an input output framework. You put the quarters in, or now it's the dollar bills or the tap of your watch or whatever in, and then out comes whatever thing you order from the machine. AI is an input output process, only it's faster than anything we've ever seen. It's like the ideal machine where I get way more out than I put in. And so the potential of this is enormous. But I think a lot of folks don't understand what comes out of the machine. You have to understand what comes out of the machine. So what I teach members in the academy as just a very basic understanding is, hey, the outputs that AI produces, if you look at all the different tools and platforms that exist, they always come in the size, shape, and form of words, images, sounds, or videos. That's it. Words, images, sounds, or videos. And the way I look at that is, well, what are the raw materials of modern marketing? Words, images, sounds, and videos. Every piece of marketing you could possibly consider doing as an agent is some combination of those ingredients. Postcards, emails, blogging, social media captions and posts, videos, all of it. Words, images, sounds, and videos. And so if AI can be specialized to help me scale and save time on the creation, the editing, the maintenance of those media platforms, I can scale my marketing. Now, not all AI excels with all different types. You have different kinds of AIs that focus on the words, so to speak. ChatGPT is a good example of that. You're mostly dealing with a language model, so it deals with language. But you're also sometimes, if you're using like 11 Labs, you're dealing with an AI that works with audio in particular. If you're dealing with like Nano Banana, that's an image model inside of Google's Gemini that deals with pixels. So where ChatGPT's language model might see words as sort of the makeup of what it does, Nano Banana sees pixels and it works in images. Video models work in images and motion. And so understanding how these things work is going to give you a lot of knowledge on how to talk to them. So I think the basic thing I would say to agents is you have to understand on some fundamental level, what are these tools? They're input-output machines. They output words, images, sounds, and or videos. Know what it is you're asking for in the vending machine of AI, and you're going to be a lot happier with the results, I think.
That's super good. I mean, and I'll say, following you on Instagram even, I'm learning about these tools. I mean, I use ChatGPT a lot. We do different pieces and different AI tools. But, I would say, and again, you know better than me, but I would say broadly, Jason, it feels like if an agent I'm talking to is, I use AI, they just meet ChatGPT, right? They might ask it to help them write email or whatever. But to your point, there are so many variations in what these AI models are good for. And so if an agent is thinking, okay, I do need to use AI. And I think the reality is if you're not using it, you're going to get left behind. And that's just the truth. I'm still a hardcore believer in referrals and relationships, right? But how do we utilize AI to make us more efficient, make us more excellent? If an agent is like, okay, I use ChatGPT, what else do I need to do? How would you say, here's 2 to 3 ways you should be using AI right now? Where would you tell someone to start?
Yeah. So I love the simple idea of an agent might respond and say, I'm using ChatGPT. What else should I do? I'm going to tweak the question a little bit.
Yeah.
A simple framework that I often share is, okay, I call it replace, enhance, create. Those are the 3 layers, sort of a framework. Where is there an area of your business that it is not working the way it should be working? And you need to replace that system on the back end. Maybe, for example, it's the way your listing coordinator writes listing descriptions for your listings. It's inconsistent. They're lacking the specificity. We now know that more and more buyers are actually asking ChatGPT, I'm looking for a house that faces south and has a really flat lot. They're asking it for like the magic genie in the lamp, give me the house I want, dream house. And so what savvy agents are doing is they are loading in noun dense keywords in their listing remarks so their listings actually get populated in those search results in chat. So it's like you could say, I've got a problem. My listing descriptions are hot air. I need to replace the system. That's a good use for ChatGPT. That then focuses me on a task. It's not that I'm going to, okay, what do I have to do to make that better? So it's replace, enhance. Enhance means this is okay, but it could be way more streamlined. It takes me too long to write captions for an Instagram post. Okay, I could find a solution for that. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Or another one, this is a good one. Creating cover photos is this tedious process on Instagram. I post a reel, I got to get a cover photo, and then it turns into this gymnastics act inside of Canva. Well, we teach our members, we give them a Gemini gem where it's powered by a back-end prompt. You set it up in the academy. What we do in the academy is we give you systems. So it's a training platform, but we're training you to a certain end. And so like we had this one system we trained on where we're going to give you a Gemini gem where whenever you need a cover photo, it's actually what I use for all my Instagram reels. I open up a new chat with it. I say, here's the frame I want to use for my video. I just screenshot the frame. And then I say, make the text say, you're not going to believe this, ? And then it knows all my brand rules, all my design preferences, everything. And it just one-shots me the actual cover photo. I just click download and I post it with my post. It's done. It takes me, it cuts me out of the frame. It puts me into the design. And it's like a full-blown graphic design done in 30 seconds. And I would tell you, 5 out of 7 days, it nails it on the first try. So that's a big time saver. Last little thing I would share is to create what are some areas of your marketing that you didn't even know you could be blogging with. You post a YouTube video and it creates a blog for you. Didn't even know you could do that. So one of our most recent trainings was we got into Claude Cowork, which I got to tell you, you keep telling folks they're going to get left behind. That moment is happening right now. This year, we have seen a significant change, shift, evolution, I guess I could say, in these AI tools capabilities where they've gone full-blown like agentic. That means AI agents. That means they're no longer just trapped in a chatbot where you copy and paste their answers. They actually can connect to your apps and your tools and do the thing for you. So like I trained our members on, we're going to create a workflow automation in Claude where every day it's going to go to your YouTube channel. It's going to literally open up your web browser, go to your YouTube channel and see if you've posted anything in the past 24 hours. And if you have, it's going to steal the transcript from your video in front of your eyes. You can watch it work while you're doing something else.
That's crazy.
And then it's going to use a skill to write a perfectly optimized for SEO blog that actually embeds your YouTube video in the blog. And then it's going to give you the option of I can either give you the blog or I can just go post it for you. And it could actually log into your WordPress or whatever website you've got for a blog and then post it as a draft and then let you give it the final once over and say, good to go, post. Completely optimized. Wow. So I think if I were an agent, I will give you a couple of ideas here. If I'm like really new to AI, I would try to solve one problem in my marketing that is a high value and a lot of effort, but kind of an easy AI lift. And that is probably, you should have a listing copy creator AI. Whenever you get a new listing, all the copy, the listing remarks, the photo descriptions, the ads for Facebook, the blog post that spotlights your video, the social caption, you have your AI dialed in to help you write all that stuff. Inside of tools like ChatGPT, and you can interject at any point. They have these things called custom GPTs. You have to have a paid account with Chat to get access to them. But you can actually, what a custom GPT lets you do is you can kind of backfeed it what's called a system prompt. And a system prompt just lays the ground rules. So before you start a chat with this particular assistant inside your ChatGPT, it's called a custom GPT, it has to read its instructions first. So you can load it with all the sort of fundamental underlying instructions that are always true for repeat tasks, like writing listing remarks or whatever. So whenever you open up a chat, you don't have to re-explain yourself. It knows the way you do it, how you want it done, and it's like clockwork, consistently doing it the same way every time or like the same way. So these are really cool. I actually just posted a thing today in our academy. I gave them 15 GPTs that everybody needs for their marketing. And these are repeat workflows where I'm doing it the same way. I'm writing a newsletter the same way every time. I'm writing the listing remarks the same way every time. I'm writing the blog the same way every time. And so these GPTs will have sort of my prompts going inside of them so that it's just streamlined and it's consistent. So for example, if your listing coordinator is doing it, you can let them use your GPT instead of their own brains and you might have a more consistent result. That would be a simple thing to do, is just
Hmm.
getting into custom GPTs.
Yeah.
If you're somebody using AI, have you messed with Claude Cowork yet?
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I actually just heard about that for the first time last week. A buddy of mine who runs a pretty large company, he's telling me about Claude Cowork. He's like, Garrett, it went through my entire YouTube channel without me paying attention and did all the SEO updating. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's the first time I'd ever heard about something like that. I've heard of Claude and, all these different Gemini and all these other, companies. I really use ChatGPT because I'm not in any way an expert. We engage with AI a decent amount, right? But it's this idea of there's a lot happening in the world. And I think that, so because of that, right, I think a natural reaction for a lot of people in general, but certainly agents, is, well, there's a lot of stuff, social media. I got to be on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and, LinkedIn and what all the other things, Snapchat, whatever they are. Like, I'm just not going to do that. That's just not going to be a thing that I'm involved in because there's too much. Now, they need to go get inside of your academy, right? I mean, I would absolutely encourage them to go do that, because you need a place that someone is just going to feed you, spoon feed you almost. These are the things you need to know. You don't need to worry about this, right? But if an agent were to just stop you after one of your presentations, right, at Tom Ferry event, whatever, and says, okay, tell me your favorite 1, 2, 3 AI tools for agents right now.
Yeah.
What are they best at? What would I use them for? You kind of went into that a little bit, but how would I use them? What should I get involved with? Assume I'm an agent that when I think AI, I think ChatGPT, right? And that's it. What do I need to do from here so I'm going to get left behind. I don't want to get fully left behind. I'm not going to be fully bought in maybe in AI, because I would say a lot of agents feel that way. But what do I need to do? How do I get engaged?
Yeah. So 3 tools. First, I want to address that mindset that you described, which is, I've got all these I've got Instagram, I got LinkedIn, I got email, I got so many balls up in the air. I don't have time to juggle anything else. I would say that's exactly why you should look at AI as a solution. There has been a long history of digital, I can't think of the right word, information bullying. I don't know what to call it. But it's like, think about an agent who maybe they've been licensed since the early 2000s or whatever, and they've been doing this. They have lived through one software update after another. I mean, they were there when it's, now we got to do Facebook. Now we got to do Instagram. Now we got to do YouTube and TikTok and LinkedIn and all these things. Now the algorithm changed. Now we got to do videos. Now they're short form vertical videos. Now it's this. Now it's that. And so there has been sort of this trained conditioning of, here is yet another thing that I've got to go learn and do. However, the difference is that AI is the first time one of the updates said, can I just do it for you? What's interesting is the marketing channels, nothing's changed. It's still email, it's still SEO, it's still social. You got to do the same marketing you used to do. Where AI fits into that is it helps you do your work. And so I would treat my members in the academy like, hey, every month you come into one of our trainings in the academy, we're gonna literally take something off your plate for you. It is this incremental release of, we're gonna take Instagram carousels, designing those off your plate one month. The next month, we're gonna take the I'm not ranking in ChatGPT searches off your plate. And so just the mindset shift of look at AI as a way to solve problems, a way to save time, a way to reduce your cost, not as the next thing I've got to, like it's a burden, learn. It's actually there to help you.
That's super.
The way I'm looking at it.
No, I love that mentality shift, right? Because it's and I'm fortunate. I have 2 assistants who I love. Now, they use AI, and so it makes them even more efficient, right? But the majority of agents who are, I'm a solo agent, I do all this stuff, I do X, Y, and Z. Well, what I care about ultimately at the end of the day is, I want you to pursue excellence in work. That's the Lord's standard, but I want you to show up at home too. And when you're so consumed because you're doing all of this stuff and, you're running around doing the showings and you're writing this and you're doing marketing and you're trying to do all of these things. And then you say to me, well, I can't afford an assistant, which may or may not be true, right? But let's say you feel like you can't. Well, guess what? There's an assistant that's that's like $30 a month,
I
right? Or
know.
$20 a
I
month or
know.
whatever that's ready and waiting for you that will help you. It is input output. But that can actually take things off your plate. And so
Yeah.
how are you seeing that, Jason? Because again, my heart is at the end of the day, I tend to see that there's agents that are either pursuing this big, massive, success in business and kind of following the industry, but then our families get left behind. And then you have this other agent that's like, well, I'm spending time with my kids, which is amazing and all these things, but I'm struggling to make ends meet, right? And I want to try to bridge that gap. I think AI is a huge piece of that. How can agents even be using AI to help them be more present at home, not just more productive at work?
Yeah, I
How are
love
you
that.
seeing those things bridge the gap?
I love that. And I think I can probably tackle that with your last question about the three tools. My simple answer on the three tools is it really depends on what problems you want to solve. There are thousands of AIs out there. What are you trying to solve for? I mean, I could tell you if you want a voice clone that sounds just like you, 11 Labs. I could tell you if you don't want to record videos anymore and you want an avatar that looks like you, HeyGen. I could tell you if you want the best AI tool for creating like slide presentations, Gamma. I could tell you if you're looking for an AI tool that is really, really ridiculously good at deep research, Gemini. I could tell you if you want a really good AI tool for what's going to be useful for me if I want to edit videos, Descript. It's going to make it so you can literally chat with it to do the edits for you.
Yeah.
There are
Descript
AI
is an amazing
tools
tool, yeah.
galore. Yeah, there are just tons. So I think the question boils down to what are you trying to do with it? I can tell you the tool I'm the most obsessed with is Claude. And I think that it's because of this Claude Cowork. And I can give sort of some context there, but I want to get into the heart of what you were asking about, which is what if you're an agent who's struggling because they've got too many things going on and they can't keep it all straight? I would say to you, and I want to say this in good conscience, odds are that's not an AI solution. Odds are there's something else that I would want to coach you on, where we need to be realistic on what's motivating you. I want to be careful I don't act like AI solves that problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because
I
it's
respect that.
probably a heart problem. It's probably a time management problem. It's probably I don't want to be like, I'm not wagging my finger at anybody,
Yeah.
but it's like whenever I feel kind of like that, it's usually because I'm afraid of something happening or I don't want something to happen and I'm trying to control things that I'm not supposed to try to control and everything kind of spins out of control. And what I really need to do is take my little grip and go unloosen my grip on some things and let some things go. So I don't want to offer just, AI prescriptions. However, I would say let's assume for a second that it's legit. This person is just super busy. They don't have any support around them. They are this one person band trying to be all things to all people, and they're doing it as best as a person could. I think Claude Cowork is truly next level. So the way that it works is, Claude is a large language model. They're a competitor of ChatGPT, so you've probably heard about them for whoever's listening or watching. They have three modes of Claude: Claude Chat, Claude Cowork, Claude Code. Now, Claude Chat is what you think it is. It's like ChatGPT. You're chatting with Claude. It's a chatbot. Claude Code is something we don't need to get into because I'm not talking to an audience of software developers. And we're not going to code stuff per se. Claude Cowork was actually, well, I guess I need to explain Claude Code to explain how we got Claude Cowork. So Claude created this thing called Claude Code, where instead of using the Claude app, you can actually install Claude software like inside your terminal of your computer. And you can actually have it code stuff for you, and it can control apps and work with apps, and it can push code to your website for you. And it did all this crazy stuff for developers. Now, you might be like, he's already lost me. I expected to lose you. To lose you.
Sure.
What was interesting is when you looked at the usage of Claude Code, it seemed apparent that a lot of people weren't using it to write code. They were using it to be like an AI agent to do other stuff, like your buddy. I want you to go on my YouTube channel and update titles and descriptions for better SEO. And so Claude was like, let's make a less technical version of Claude Code called Cowork, designed for business people who need AI agents. What's an AI agent? An AI agent, when you're talking to ChatGPT, you're not talking to an AI agent. You're talking to an AI model, and its job is to explain stuff to you. You can ask it questions and it can explain answers and it chats with you. It can write blogs for you or do things for you that you can copy and paste, and it can create outputs, but it's sort of as like, here's the thing, and then you're the courier that takes it over to wherever it needs to go next. That's not an agent. An agent, it's funny, like if you start a Claude Cowork session, they don't call it a chat at all. You don't start a new chat, you start a task. And so you state the outcome you want, and then it does it for you. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I had Claude. Well, I'll give you one more detail. What's cool about Claude Cowork is there are two kind of ingredients within it that make it super special. One is called Claude Skills. Claude Skills are like, I'm guessing a lot of you listening or watching probably have like a Google Drive folder with all your SOPs, documentation of your processes, your ways, your values, your brand
These are
standards.
agents, Jason. You think they have their
They
SOPs?
should. They can at least grasp this. You probably can grasp having like a Dropbox folder with all your brand stuff in it.
Right.
Well, what smart agents are doing is they're actually taking all those files and they're giving them to Claude in a chat, and they're saying, hey, look at all this stuff and then extract skills from it, because I want you to basically be a trained employee for me. And so you just drag and drop into a chat, and then it basically shreds up your business, everything it could possibly need to know about you. It chooses to remember it. And so those are called skills. They're literally like, think about skills as a Google Doc. It's a document that tells Claude how to do a certain thing or to know a certain thing about your business. This is how I want you to write blogs. This is how you write video scripts for me. These are my brand colors and my brand fonts. Just inherent knowledge of how you do things the way you do things. They're called skills. The second major ingredient Claude Cowork has is called connectors. Connectors are backdoor access points to your favorite apps. DocuSign, Dotloop, Zapier, N8N, Slack. You can actually log in to those and it can control them for you. Wow. So like I'll give you and one of those connectors is Chrome. So you can actually connect where Claude can actually open up your Google Chrome and it can surf the web, it can fill out forms, it can click through things, it can do things. And you can watch it work, and it's literally controlling your screen. Yesterday, I needed to build a Zap inside of Zapier, and I wasn't quite sure how to build it. So I just told Claude, hey, this is TMI. I was like, I got to go take a shower. Can you build this for me, and I'll see it when I come back? I went, took a shower, came back, I had a Zap. It had opened up my browser, it logged in, it built the whole thing for me. So to me, the most exciting thing happening right now are these AI agents. So in Claude Cowork, you start a task. Think about any person who's ever worked for you. Think about your own job description. If you were to really itemize your job description, it would be a bunch of tasks that you perform. Anybody's job would be a bunch of tasks. This is how I write blogs. This is how I research email newsletters. This is how we load an MLS listing. This is how I run comps. It's just an itemized list of tasks. Well, now I can just start a new task with Claude Cowork, and I can tell it the outcome I want it to achieve, i.e. the fulfillment of that task, and it will figure out a way to do it for me. It will use its skills, it will use its connectors, and it'll get the job done. And then I can schedule it. I can say, now do that every day at 9:30 a.m. Do that once a month or on the last day of every month at 4 p.m. And it will do it for me. And so like what we got savvy agents doing now is when they get a listing, tell me if this sounds logical. I'll bet you if you're a listing agent, you've probably got like a file called listings. It's probably in Dropbox or Google Drive. And inside that file, you probably create subfolders for every one of your listings. A folder for 123 Banana Street, a folder for 456 Banana Street. And in those folders of each of those listings, I'll bet you drag all the MLS photos in there, all your documents are in there, all your signatures are in there, all your comps are in there, everything's already in there. So what savvy agents are doing is they start a task with Claude Cowork and they actually link it to that folder. Because I forgot to mention this, one of the most important details of Claude Cowork is it can work with the files on your machine. You can literally say, you have access to this folder on my computer. I can give it access to the desktop on my computer and say, this thing's a mess. Can you clean up my desktop for me?
Crazy.
And it can literally start deleting files, changing names. You have to approve the permit. You have to get permission, but it's performing outcomes. It's taking action for you. And so if I was more excited about one tool than anything else, I'm excited about Claude Cowork. So these savvy agents, they're giving it access to their main listing folder. It now has the ability to get into anything it needs for any listing. And then Claude created this tool called Dispatch. So Dispatch is inside their mobile app. I could be in the field and maybe I'm at an open house and I've got a client who wants to know, I'm just making this up. Hey, can you kind of give me a breakdown, the client says, of all the renovations the seller did? I'd like to show that to my spouse. Do you have like a PDF or something? I could say, give me a second. I could go into Dispatch and say, hey, I need you to jump into the 1, 2, 3 banana folder. And I need you to create for me a presentation that outlines all the renovations the seller's done. Use your Gamma connector to build the slideshow and then drop it in the folder for me. And then text me when you're done or Slack me when you're done so that I know it's finished. And then I'll say to okay, I have my assistant working on it. I'll get it to you before you leave. Go tour the property. Let me know what questions you have. And before you leave, I'll give you that file. Wow. And by the time they leave, it'll build the thing for me right then and there.
That is wild. That is wild.
We have moved into a new paradigm of AI. Yeah. So if you're somebody watching right now and you're like, oh, wow, this is blowing my mind. I've been ignoring AI. You're not thinking about it the right way. AI is wearing the same jersey as you. It's here to help you.
It's crazy. I think it's so okay. I'm going to go check out Claude Cowork as soon as we're done.
It's
and
nuts.
I'm going to check out your AI Academy.
You do have to have a paid subscription for Claude, for Cowork.
Yeah, totally fine. But it's not as much. I love my assistant. I'm not letting go of my assistant, right? But it's not as much as she costs, right? To have that human assist. Okay, so a couple things, because I think one of the challenges when it comes to the reality, and I love that you first said, if you have a problem with overworking or you're not spending enough time at home, whatever, that's probably a heart issue. That's you're working on too many things you don't need to, that don't matter, right? Whatever that is, and we can help you with that. But then when you dive into like this Claude Cowork idea, I think of it as, well, number one, if you're a solo agent, you're selling 20 homes a year, whatever, doing all this stuff on your own, when AI replaces some of this work for you, take that extra time and go hang out with your kids, right? Don't feel the pressure.
For finishing that's the thought. That's right.
No, but don't feel the pressure to say, now I need to fill that with something else and have to be hyper efficient and blah, 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 blah. Like, no, what you're commanded to do is love the Lord, love your spouse, love your kids, right? Depending on if you're a husband, wife, whatever your scenario. Right. Those are the things that matter. So do that first. But then I love the concept. And I'll ask you, Jason, because I'm thinking, man, as a husband, how do I support, we've got 5 little kids. How do I support my wife? Well, ChatGPT has never been the thing that says, hey, go plan dinner for the week, whatever, and, go order on Instacart, all the things that we need. But Claude Cowork sounds like it could probably do that, where I could actually say to my wife, hey, I'm going to use this AI tool. I'm going to figure out how we set it up, whatever. And I'm going to use this to help take one of these things off of your plate so that you can spend more time. She homeschools the kids, right? Focusing, feeling like you can be more present with the kids, even though you have to plan meals and all the things. Guess what? This is just one thing that it can actually do for you. Let me just make it go to work on that, right? Is that like
it's interesting. I actually haven't thought about that. That's an interesting way to look at it. I don't know what its connection to like Instacart is. There are a couple of, I don't want to get like overly technical.
Sure.
One of the guardrails is Claude Cowork will not enter a password. It's not supposed to enter passwords for you.
Got it. Okay.
So like if your MLS requires a password to be entered every time, it ain't going to work. You have to find a different way around that. There are ways around that, but it's like, I don't want to oversell what it is. There are some guardrails. Sure. We are in the research preview phase of this thing, but I love the idea of how could I help use these tools to, again, it's the same framework. It's how do I replace, enhance, create? Replace, enhance, create. But not just my business. Are there tasks at home that I can optimize for the sake of my family, for my spouse and so forth? I love that idea. My Claude is selfishly working for my business. I hadn't even thought about that. I love the idea.
No, that's good. But it's not selfish if it's saving you time. If you're buying back some of the time and then you go give that for your family, right? I think that this challenge, and I'm going to ask you how we think about AI as believers, right? But
Yeah.
I think this inherent challenge that we have is because AI is making us more, those who are using it, it's making me more efficient, right? And there's so many question marks around all of these things, but it's making me more efficient. Therefore, I need to fill it with something else. So now I need to be doing that, and now I need to be doing this, and now I need to be doing that. When all it has is almost made us more anxious about everything. Wow, everybody's moving so fast. I got to move fast too. And then you're sitting there like, well, now I can't walk downstairs. Right, I'm on the third floor. I can't walk downstairs and be present with my kids, present with my wife, because things are happening too fast, and I feel the speed and all the things. Which I totally get it, right? That's the way our culture feels right now.
Yep.
As believers, we have to be counter to that. Luke 12, the reminder to not be anxious. Our Father in heaven knows what we need. And so, you know what? Be as hyper efficient and excellent as you can be with these tools while you're at work, if you're using them for work, and then shut it down. It's okay. Somehow, in only the way the Lord can, when I go honor my family and I'm not working, the Lord is still growing my business for me because I'm honoring what he called me to do, right? And you have that freedom too, believers. But man, as we try to understand, all of these tools are good. Again, go to your academy, 100%. We're going to, make sure we tell them how they get there. But how do we think about this, right? As Christians, like, how do we even think about AI? Is it just a tool? Is there deeper responsibility to it? What are even some like boundaries and guardrails that we need to have up as believers as we think about AI?
There's a lot to be said here. So let's toss it around.
Yeah.
I'm not sure this is the place to start, but my first comment to you is it is a tool. It is not more than a tool. It is not a person. It is a tool. It is a tool that is built to imitate people. I know a lot of people talk to in my house, I talk to the robot. We call it the robot. That's our little internal line for it. A lot of people think too personally about their ChatGPT. It knows me better than anybody else, and they are too intimate with it. I'm not here to judge, but I would warn to say, be careful how intimate you get with AI. I would be mindful. Am I having conversations with my AI that I'm not supposed to do, that are preventing me from having meaningful conversations with people in my life? I think that's a potential impediment. I think a lot of people, I'm just throwing some opinions out here, man. You can jump in at any point you want. I think you got to keep it as a tool. I think a lot of people hold it on too high of a pedestal. They believe everything it says is true. It's not. How are these AI? You need to understand as much as you can about how these large language models work. You should understand terms like hallucinations. You have to understand like an AI is designed to be a helpful assistant. I'm remembering there was a study, I think it was UVA and Harvard together did a study to determine if the diagnostic accuracy of doctors is improved when they use ChatGPT to help diagnose patients. And these numbers are probably a little bit wrong. I'm going to ballpark off memory what I think they were. It was something like doctors without ChatGPT were around, I think, 75% accurate diagnosticians, which is a little alarming because they're wrong a quarter of the time.
That's a little scary,
yeah. So then you would assume with ChatGPT, where they're going and they're entering the symptoms and they're saying this is it, blah, blah, and they're having a chat with ChatGPT, we would think that the diagnostic accuracy would go up a lot.
Yeah.
And it went up by like 1%.
Wow.
It was hardly. So then they did another test where they took the doctor out of it. Then they just had ChatGPT analyze the symptoms, and it jumped to like a 92% diagnostic accuracy. Wow. It went way up. This study was well over a year ago. The conclusion was not that doctors are bad or that we don't need them anymore. The conclusion was they don't have the foggiest idea how to use these tools. Because what was happening is these AI tools will often pander to you. You've probably maybe you've heard of a confirmation bias. There's been a lot of conversations about Facebook algorithms actually can conform to a confirmation bias. For example, if you start watching crazy videos, you'll start seeing more crazy videos that say the same thing. And before you know it, you're going to believe all the things those crazy videos say because you're being exposed to a bias in the way the algorithms work. Well, the AIs aren't exactly the same, but there's a similar idea here. They will pander to you.
Hmm.
And so in this research, what they revealed was the AI is foundationally designed to be a helpful assistant.
Hmm.
What it thinks is helpful is a moving target. And so in the
Sure.
case of these doctors are like, I don't need your help. I've been doing this 30 years. The symptoms are this. Here's what's wrong with them. And the AI is like, you're so smart. You're probably right. Way to go. I agree. And I'm oversimplifying, but it
Sure.
basically thought the way I can be helpful to this doctor right now is to affirm them in their thinking, not to be an objective third party. Whoa. I want to play devil's advocate here. Now, the doctor could have prompted and said, like, hey, the way you're going to help me is playing devil's advocate as long as you think that role needs to be played. Here's what I see. What do you see? Now the AI can become a real good tool, but you got to understand these things pander to you. They will tell you things. They will affirm you in things that aren't always true because they're trying to be helpful assistants, but be careful. Does that make sense the way I'm saying that?
I mean, so many things. It's just I mean, I love what you said too. Like the careful of the intimacy, the reality of it's a tool. We talked about this, pre-show. It's just information. It's not wisdom. It's not the Lord, right? Like all the information that ChatGPT or whatever other things have. All of that information, where did that originate? From the Lord. Like it can't create anything. It doesn't have anything new. It can rearrange stuff, right? But it can't create something out of nothing like the Lord can. It doesn't have wisdom. It doesn't have all of these things. It just has information. It's still built by humans. It's still a human tool.
That's right.
And I agree with you. I think the danger is it's like, well, and now it's extremely helpful. A couple weeks ago, I'm trying to process through something. I spent like 4.5 hours just like, all right, ask me these questions, help me work through this and push me, whatever, all the things. Incredibly helpful, right? It's almost like having a coach right there. But we were made for people, human beings, real people, real relationships, right? And those things are necessary and right and good. And so there is an aspect where, as believers, I think we should be utilizing AI tools 100%. It would be incorrect, in my opinion, for a Christian to say, well, I'm not going to be on Facebook. Facebook's the devil, right? Like you said it at the beginning in pre-show. Well, money is not the devil. It's neutral, but it's the love of money is the root of all evil. So yeah, these things can bring out the sin tendencies in us already. But believers should be engaging in AI. That's a tool that exists. We shouldn't run away from it. However,
you should know the limits. Like I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
You mentioned the guy earlier who used ChatGPT to plan trips, right?
Yeah.
So I don't mean I mean no disrespect to him.
Yeah.
Because we've planned trips with ChatGPT and things of that effect. You'd be shocked to know that ChatGPT, whenever you ask it a question like, what's the best restaurant or the best bed and breakfast in Florence, Italy, if you're planning a trip there, something like that, it will only research what it has access to. It doesn't intuitively know the answer. And you'll be shocked because it's not reading TripAdvisor reviews. It can't see Google reviews. There is so much information that would be ridiculously useful for it to have. So it could give you a fully informed answer that it can't see. Did it tell you, hey, here's what I think you could do, but you should really know I can't read TripAdvisor reviews. I can't read Google Business Profile reviews. That content is all gated. It's not part of my search tools. And so the answer I'm giving you is based upon only the sample data I could actually get my hands on, so to speak. And so you should really take what I'm saying with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell you that.
No.
Instead, it just says, here's what you should do. This is a perfect answer. Aren't I a helpful assistant? And so once again, you have to be careful. Like you need to know the limits of these tools and how they work. They were made by people. They are trained on human data. And so you're just dealing with a machine that has access to what it has access to, which is not always the complete picture.
That's so interesting. Yeah. And at the end of the day, so it's like the way you paint him, like it's this little puppy that goes and fetches the ball and is sitting there wagging its tail and you're like, good job, little buddy. It's like it did what you want to do. But man, it's not spirit led, right? Like we just have to know that the Spirit does not indwell this machine, right? The way that it does other believers. And so that's where wisdom lies, right? I mean, not that we could have it, but I would love to know, like, how would Solomon, the smartest, richest man in the world, how would he engage with something like that, right? If Jesus were around today, like what would Jesus do and how would he he talk about what artificial intelligence looks like? We don't know, but I would encourage genuinely, and I want you to tell us where to go get it. Follow people like Jason who love Jesus and are experts in these particular ways, because we need to be careful where we're getting our information. You're faithful agents. If you're listening to this and you love Jesus and you're an agent, which is, I hope, all of you, right? Then you need to be careful who you're getting your information from, who you're taking advice from, because if they don't love Jesus, guess what? They have a completely different worldview than you. It doesn't mean they don't have good information. You got to be careful. I always say, go find an expert who loves Jesus. Jason is that in AI. I want you to engage with what he's doing and learn from him, right? And trust, Jason's fallible too, right? He's a sinner just
Yes,
like
I am.
all of
Don't
us.
put me on a
Right?
pedestal.
100%. Yeah, we'll have
Yes.
your wife on next time. She'll tell us all the things.
Yeah.
That's why I haven't had my wife on yet, Jason, one day.
Touche.
But man, how can they engage? This has been so good. We could talk forever. How can they go be part of the academy? What do they need to do, man? Tell us how to go find all that stuff.
Garrett, I really appreciate the endorsement. I do. You can learn more at aimarketingacademy.com. That's our website. And there's a join now button and you can click it. It is a subscription. It's not a course. So it's a continuous training. We have monthly and yearly plans. They do automatically renew. So just be aware you're signing up for a subscription if you choose to be a part of it. The monthly plan is, if you added it times 12 months, we do cut you a little bit of a break financially on the annual plan. It's a better deal, so to speak. But you're committing for at least a year if that's the case. The membership is $199 a month. If you use the coupon code JP30, it's just JP30 when you get to checkout. There's a little, do you have a promo code? Enter JP30 and it will drop it off 30% forever.
Wow.
Whether you do monthly or annual, it's just 30% off forever. We'd love to have you be a part of our community and take advantage of the trainings and the systems that are there for you. When you sign up, everything we've ever done is already there. So it's just, it's there for you. And actually next week, we're launching a brand new platform. So by the time you listen to this, the new platform is probably already out. And one of the cool features I'm really excited about that's in it is it's going to be like a chat experience where when you start ChatGPT, it's like, hey, Garrett, what you want to get into today? And then you can type. You can actually say, I want to learn everything I can about how to do AI with Instagram. And it will go through every piece of content we've ever produced, and it will put together all the clips for you into a playlist. So you can watch whatever we've got on any topic for anything you want. You could say, I've got 9 minutes to do this, and it will make a 9-minute playlist for you. It's going to be a really great way to get in and get what you need and then move on with your day and put AI to work for you versus this burden of, do I have to know everything about AI? No. I don't have to know everything about AI. But I have to know how it can solve my problems or it can create opportunities in my business. That's our MO with it. Garrett, if I could, I just want to make one more comment.
Please do.
You brought up the thing earlier. We had talked about it in the pre-show about AI is yet the next technological driver to make everything move faster and increase hurry in our lives. Social media, smartphones, these are other examples of major technological innovations that made the world speed up and it made us always on. Does it increase productivity? Maybe, maybe not. Does it increase anxiety? Does it increase pressure? Absolutely, it does. You should be aware when you're using AI, you will start to think that you operate that fast. Like I found myself getting annoyed with myself that it takes me so long to read the response that it gave me because it can do it like that. My world doesn't have to move that fast to be productive. And I would also suggest when you take this idea of everything's moving so fast, I need to be aware of this and not be controlled by it. And I need to be mindful that I don't give AI a platform in my life where it speaks wisdom to me. Is it a tool for analyzing decisions? Absolutely. But it is a what? It is a tool for analyzing decisions. It is not a source of wisdom. Do not replace the good counsel you have in your lives with AI to help you make those decisions. Is it a tool that can maybe augment? Yeah. Can you run things by it and get some data? Yeah. Should you confide everything in it and put your life in its hands? No. And that is a danger I see and a peril I see of people being enamored by this shiny penny of a technology that is truly impressive. It's not magic. It's a tool. keep it in its lane.
It's good. Man, so good. So agents, AI Marketing Academy.com, JP30. Again, and I don't really push or pitch anything, but I absolutely think this is something agents should go do. These are tools. You need to understand what they are. You need to know how they work, why you should use them, all the things.
Yep.
And if you're going to save the time and not go figure it all out yourself, Jason will figure that out and his team will figure it out, and just show up and get what you need. I think that, anyways, I would encourage you all to go look at this. This is going to be a highly effective and helpful tool. And I don't get paid to say that. I just genuinely believe it, right? So, man, Jason, so good, man. We could talk for so long, and I just appreciate your heart and wisdom. I appreciate that in the real estate space with AI, there's a believer leading it. And man, what a blessing that is to know that. Just from an outsider perspective, man, that blesses me. That makes me feel confident. And just, I don't know. It's a reminder of the Lord's goodness, right? That he puts a believer in that position. So praise God for that, man. I trust and continue to pray for you to use that well. And I think you are. And so, man, however we can support you in that, we're going to do that. But man, thanks for coming on, buddy. Faithful agents, we love you, and we will see you next week. Hey, Christian agent, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If it resonated, would you take 30 seconds and share it with another agent who's also trying to grow their business without losing their faith, family, or peace? That's how this message spreads. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future episodes. I release new ones each Thursday to help you build success that actually lasts. It genuinely fires me up knowing this podcast is helping you pursue excellence to the glory of God, both at work and at home. I'll meet you back here next week for another episode of The Faithful Agent.